Hello everyone, thank you for joining me. I hope you're having a great day. My name is Dr. Jason Uchida. I'm a doctor of naturopathic medicine and your host of this program about naturopathic medicine. Welcome to Island Wellness, a program designed to educate you about naturopathic medicine. I graduated from the National College of Naturopathic Medicine in Portland, Oregon in 1988. I've been practicing naturopathic medicine in Hawaii for the past 19 years. Naturopathic physicians are trained in the state of Hawaii and licensed in the state of Hawaii as primary care providers, just like medical doctors. Let me give you a brief introduction to naturopathic medicine. Naturopathic medicine is a primary healthcare system founded on the honored universal principle that nature is the ultimate healer. Its roots go back beyond the time of Hippocrates, the father of modern medicine. Naturopathic medicine's core belief is that our body has the innate ability to maintain and restore optimum health, no matter what the current status may be. Therefore, a physician's true role is to support this process by using modalities of treatment that work in harmony with the body's natural healing ability. Well, that's enough about me and naturopathic medicine. Now let's find out if it works. To help illustrate this, I will bring in a patient to share their experience with naturopathic medicine with you. Today's topic is about the most common tenacious and bothersome skin problem we have in America today, eczema. Dependent on the medical text that you read, eczema affects between 5 and 8% of us on a regular basis. Its definition in Greek means to boil out. At its worst, it is exactly how the skin of eczema may look. The skin gets swollen, red, bumpy, and spongy with serum. This serum weeps out of scratched and aggravated skin. When the serum dries, it will harden into a crust. When it becomes a chronic problem, the skin may become scaly or cracked open into fissures. These fissures are very painful. Individuals suffering from chronic eczema who scratch constantly will develop several layers of thickened, hard skin with a gray or black pigment on it. The eczema can occur in patches and affect one small area of the body, but when it's at its worst, it can affect the entire body. Eczema usually affects the folds of the body, such as the inner elbows, wrists, and ankles, back of the knees, the legs, the buttocks, and behind the neck and ears. But when eczema is at its worst, no area of the skin will be left untouched. Typically, a person with eczema suffers most from the unquenchable, voluptuous itch. The itch typically intensifies when it is humid and hot and at night while trying desperately to sleep. It is during these times that the itch can be so intense that the victim scratches until the skin is shredded into a tattered rag of open wounds and weeping of serum and blood. What makes eczema one of the most frustrating skin problems is that conventional medicine has no cure for it. That's right. If you have eczema and you ask your medical doctor if the treatment will cure it, he'll tell you no. You ask, why doesn't conventional medicine have a cure for eczema? Simply put, it really is not trying to cure eczema. What you say? Let's find out why conventional medical treatment completely misses the mark on eczema. Hi Milton, welcome to Island Wellness. Thank you for joining us. Today's program is about eczema. Milton, how long did you suffer from eczema?
Maybe about 2 years.
2 years. You didn't have it longer than that?
Yeah, maybe longer. Well, it was mild, yeah?
Yeah.
And then it got worse.
Over time?
Yeah, over time, to the point where, I guess crescendo, yeah?
Right.
So I guess maybe 4 or 5 years, maybe.
Okay. So, like you were mentioning, eczema can be mild where the eczema is only covering maybe a patch of skin, but it can get as bad as covering your whole body. Tell us how bad your eczema was at its worst.
Oh, when it was at the worst, it was to the point where, if I remember, I used to work in the yard, and then, it's hot, right?
Right.
And then, I think I used to rub aloe. I was making the aloe juice, and I was rubbing aloe all over my whole body and then thinking it, gonna help, yeah. And then I would take a shower, and then turn on the air conditioner and stay in a cool room, take a nap. That was my weekend routine.
Okay.
But usually at night, that's when I would get real bad.
Yeah. You know, most people who suffer from eczema for a long time, they say that the worst part of eczema is the itching. So can you describe the torment you went through with the itching part of the eczema? Kind of explain that a little bit.
Well, like I said, it was gradual. Yeah, real gradual. But when it got real bad, you know, when you're sleeping, you scratch.
Yeah.
Subconsciously, I guess
While you're sleeping.
while you're sleeping, yeah. But then you scratch to the point where you bleed.
Yeah, yeah.
And then and then at the end, well, at the height of the eczema, I guess, I was taking cold showers, like maybe 2 or 3 in the morning, and then that was kind of hard to take. So I would get ice from the refrigerator and kind of just rub it all on my arm and my body.
So you would get up in the middle of your sleep, take cold showers to cool off your body and cool off the itch, I guess.
Yeah.
Yeah. A lot of people describe the itch of eczema as it's so itchy that you scratch, and when you scratch it, it feels so good
Yeah.
that you keep scratching
Yeah.
until you actually open your skin with cuts and things. You know.
Actually, it's been kind of long that I didn't have that, so kind of forget the. But now that you mention, you scratch to the point where it feels good. Yeah. Kind of stupid. Huh? But you scratch to the point where it brings relief.
Right.
I think that's what it is.
Yeah, that's the funny thing about human nature, right? Is after just a few months, we forget about how bad something really was. And to be fair with Milton came in to see me in 2002, and now it's 2008. So you haven't had eczema for over 6 years now. So a lot of time has passed. So at its worst, the eczema was covering pretty much your whole body. Then you're saying.
My legs, my back.
Your abdomen.
Yeah.
Everywhere except your face.
Yeah.
Would you describe how the eczema looked to you at its worst? You know, because I described it earlier as being red, bumpy, lumpy skin, and the skin is slightly swollen, and sometimes it will weep, and crust over after it weeps.
I don't think mine was that
Bad.
Where I had was weeping.
Yeah.
But was red.
And bumpy.
Yeah, and people would ask, when, my daughter's friends, or I guess they would see, or even my friends, they would ask, "Oh, what is that? How come you, on my arms?" Yeah.
Yeah.
They would ask where they could see.
Right.
So.
And I talked to your daughter a while back.
Yeah.
She had mentioned that her friends had always known you for wearing long sleeve shirts.
Yeah.
Maybe turtlenecks, long pants.
Not so much turtlenecks, but long sleeve.
Long sleeve shirts always.
And that time I used to wear a lot of long sleeve T-shirts.
So when you were getting better, her friends asked her, "What's going on? Because your father always wears long sleeve shirts. Now he's wearing short sleeve T-shirts." Right?
Yeah. And so I guess we explained this eczema thing, and I guess they're kind of curious, but all of a sudden it just disappeared. Yeah.
So they would ask you either why you're wearing the long sleeve shirt because it's 100 degrees out, or they see the eczema and you tell them what it is.
Well, I'm not much of a guy that hides secrets. I mean, I wouldn't mind telling people what I was suffering from, but I guess the long sleeve shirt was just to stop people from asking me so much questions, right?
I see.
Because
About you.
must have looked real bad.
Because they would ask you otherwise.
Yeah, must have looked bad.
Oh, okay.
Because they go, and a real close friend would go, gee, what is that? You know,
Yeah.
more than one stranger, right?
Yeah, yeah,
When stranger not going to say, although they know look weird,
yeah.
they're not going to say, what is that, right?
They're not going to be thinking, are you contagious?
Yeah,
Yeah.
but nobody like touch you. Yeah.
Yeah. But that's kind of how eczema can be at its worst. It will almost look like a biblical-like skin affliction, right? Almost like a leprosy kind of thing.
Hey, don't make me sound bad.
But you suffered with eczema for a long time. You did a lot of things to try to help yourself with eczema. Yeah, you would take cold showers. You would rub ice on yourself at 2, 3 o'clock in the morning. But you must have seen medical doctors to help you with the eczema.
Yeah, I went to about 2 regular doctors,
Mm-hmm.
medical doctors,
Mm-hmm.
and I went to 2 dermatologists,
Mm-hmm.
and I went to 1 homeopathic doctor.
Right. Can you explain what the doctors tried to do to help you, and did they say that the treatment would cure you? Obviously, I had mentioned earlier that there's really no conventional medicine that doesn't have a cure for eczema. What kind of medications did they want you to take, and did it work?
Well, they suggest, how when you go to the doctor, you spend about 10, 15 minutes in the doctor's office, right?
Mm-hmm.
And so they would, write out a prescription for some drug.
Mm-hmm.
And I knew that something else was wrong, because it was real bad, yeah.
Mm-hmm.
But it never really helped. And so finally I went to this homeopathic doctor,
Mm-hmm.
and he was giving me these real fancy looking herbal medicines and stuff.
Mm-hmm.
And in a way I felt was working,
Mm-hmm.
but when it came back real bad.
Yeah. So the medical doctors that you saw, 2 internists and 2 dermatologists,
Yeah.
they gave you topical ointments and pills?
Well, they wrote out the prescription,
Mm-hmm.
yeah, and yeah, pills, and actually one doctor got kind of angry with me because I just asked, is this medicine going to affect my liver?
Mm.
And he kind of got angry with me.
Yeah, yeah.
Asking that.
Yeah. I
Right.
guess.
And I'm getting older, so I'm trying to protect my kidneys and my liver, right?
Right. You want to save your liver for better
yeah,
things.
yeah. Actually, I got angry too, and like, hey,
Why you want to...
why are you getting angry at me?
Oh,
That's
okay.
how I felt.
Yeah. So he was angry because you're questioning his...
The drug.
Yeah.
And I guess when you get I'm getting older, right?
Right.
So you become more assertive, right?
Okay.
Because you worry more about your body.
Yeah.
When you're younger, you think the doctor is, the guru,
Knows
yeah.
all. Right. Yeah.
But even when I met you, I thought you was kind of weird.
Come on.
Yeah.
I'm
No,
sure
because
you did though, actually.
Yeah,
Because of the treatment.
you start doubting. You start doubting doctors.
Because the medical doctors couldn't help you. But did they tell you that the medicines that they were offering you were going to cure your eczema?
Oh, they never did. Nobody ever said that.
Yeah. They knew that it was only going to manage the eczema.
Yeah.
So Milton, how did you find me?
A professional and all she did was write down your name and your telephone number, and her experience was that they had a patient in their office. This is a regular doctor now.
Yeah.
That the patient was worse than me, and the lady had wearing hat, wearing a long sleeve shirt, wearing long pants, and she looked worse than me. So I figured, yeah, if we can help that lady, and she looked worse than me, you know, I was real anxious.
give it a try.
So this nurse gave me this info. It was just one small piece of paper.
Yeah. I guess she felt really sorry for you
I guess so,
And-
you know. And she heard my conversation
with the doctor.
because I was angry, right?
Oh, I see.
Because I knew, you know, I need to do something
Right.
different.
Right.
I was willing.
Oh, okay. So, well, that is, you know, a honest progression of what you're probably looking for, right? Because you saw two internists. They offered you basically the same kind of treatment, the eczema not getting better and probably getting worse over time. And then you went to two dermatologists, experts on skin diseases, and they didn't have anything else to offer you besides taking corticosteroids or immunosuppressive drugs that basically just suppress the immune system from removing poisons out of your skin. So it looks like you get better for a little while, but then the eczema comes back. And so you were looking for something else, possibly at that time, or you were open to that, and that's what the nurse probably maybe felt, yeah, because you didn't want to take the medications. So when you came in to see me, and this was back in 2001, probably, when we first started, and we ended in about 2002. So when you first came in to see me, what did I tell you was causing your eczema?
Well, you told me that, you know, all the antibiotics that I got when I was in the Army probably triggered, because I had large doses of antibiotics when I was in the Army. So because you made me write down all my history.
Past medical history.
Yeah, and that, and you know, the thing that, you know, we're conditioned as patients to come in and say, you know, and, you know, put things in our ear and, you know, listen. I remember you never did touch me, you know, and like, I'm thinking, what kind of doctor is this? You know, he only asks questions, you know.
Yeah.
So I doubted the
Yeah, because
you
it's
know,
very
because
different.
you're not conditioned to.
Yeah, and most times doctors look in your ears, nose, throat,
Yeah.
that kind of thing. But part of the reason too is it's a skin problem. You know, we're going to look at your skin only, but mainly the art of medicine, or they used to call it the art of medicine before, right? Because it was an art and a skill to medicine. Today it's more a cookbook. You do laboratory tests to make diagnosis, and you look at the medical books to see what the latest medication is given for this disease. But in the old days, the medical doctors would have to ask you a lot of questions to get as much information as possible to figure out what's causing the current problem today. Because this problem today was probably caused by things that was done in the past, whether it was just a few days ago or maybe many years ago. But the past medical history, Milton had mentioned that you had a bacterial infection in the Army, yeah?
Yeah, I had a heart infection when I was in the Army.
And you were given IV antibiotics for a month or 3.
About a month and a half.
Yeah, so that's a lot of antibiotics to take. And when antibiotics are given in that kind of dosage, it will kill not only the bad bacteria, but also the good ones, and sets up an opportunity for fungus to start growing. And according to the medical books, fungus, when they grow, they take their time, but also they make a lot of toxins or poisons inside the body. And then these poisons have to be eliminated out of the body, and typically it's eliminated out through the skin, and it causes a lot of skin problems, such as eczema. But Milton, you went to one dermatologist way back when, and she also diagnosed you with another skin problem. Can you kind of talk about that a little bit?
Yeah, there was another different red-looking bumps, look a little bit like hives, I guess. but not that raised.
Yeah, yeah.
But was and she diagnosed that as granuloma annulare.
So that's an autoimmune disease of the skin. So that means that the immune system is removing poisons out of the body through the skin, and by accident it's damaging the skin. So sort of like an eczema, because eczema is caused because the immune system is removing poisons out of the skin, and by accident, as it's removing these poisons out of the skin, it's damaging the skin, causing the inflammation and the weeping that you see in eczema. So the eczema is actually a good thing because that's the immune system removing these poisons out of the body. But because it looks bad, right? You would cover yourself up with long sleeve shirts and wear long pants even though it's 98 degrees outside. You cover yourself up because that skin looks ugly. So we go to the medical doctors. We just want to take medications to make that ugly skin go away. But it's not necessarily going to cure the problem, you know. So can you kind of explain to the viewing audience how the granuloma annulare looked on you? You had a pet name for it.
Did
If I
I?
recall, yeah, you called it the Olympic rings.
Oh yeah, because it looked like like that Olympic.
Yeah,
Like
the rings.
that's how it looked, like kind of round, like.
Yeah, yeah. And
I think that's what annulare, like round, right?
round, right? So it was basically red circles or blotches on
Yeah.
your forearm, no?
Yeah.
And that could be seen quite easily,
Yeah.
yeah, because it was red,
Yeah.
yeah. So Milton, I told you that your eczema was being caused by candida. Candida is a type of fungus, and it was in your body making poisons, and your immune system was removing out of the skin. So obviously, to help you get well, we had to first eliminate the candida, because when you eliminate candida, then the amount of toxins also start going down also, yeah, because your immune system will continue removing it out of your skin. What did you think of that diagnosis when I told you that candida was causing your eczema at that time?
I thought, this guy crazy. Oh, I didn't know what to think really, but was hard to swallow that this guy is saying this candida,
Yeah, it's causing my eczema.
Yeah,
But
because
the experts, like dermatologists.
yeah, I mean, I saw 5 other professionals. Nobody ever told me about candida, so so I kind of doubted you.
Yeah, I'm sure. I mean, that's an honest
Yeah.
answer.
And I was in the office long time.
Longer than you spent in any doctor's
Yeah,
office before.
so
Because I was asking you a lot of questions.
yeah, I had to listen to all this
All that
new thing. Yeah.
new information.
Yeah.
So I did go over the medical books with you, though, right?
That to make me a believer, right?
Yeah.
So you had that big book,
Yeah, the textbook of medicine.
and then you showed me to tell me, who wrote this book and all these pathologists, right?
Yeah, yeah.
And you told me that these people are scientists.
Right.
So I figured. So then I started, maybe believing like, oh, this Dr. Uchida, he gets some friends, all these guys in this book. But then another thing I thought about was, how come my doctor didn't tell me about this book? See, I asked you that, and you said they probably have it in their office.
Yeah.
So I said, well, how come I had to come to go to 5 doctors and I come to see you to see this book? If all the other guys must get the book, same book.
Yeah. It's one of the most popular conventional medical books in the United States.
And
that's why they call it the textbook of medicine.
So I was kind of angry that I had to see 5 doctors, then you, and you're the only guy showing me this book.
Showing you all the information about eczema. Basically, that it are poisons that the body is eliminating out of the body that's causing the eczema. So that's why medicine uses immunosuppressive drugs and steroids to stop that from happening, to help the eczema clear up. But where are the poisons going if they're not leaving your body now? They're staying in the body, and that's why typically eczema will flare up after the use of medications. You're going to use more to suppress the symptoms, make the eczema go away, and then it'll come back worse. And that was happening for you, right? Your eczema was getting worse over time. Yeah. So, okay, so you spent an hour and a half with me in the office.
No, longer than that.
Around there anyway, right? But it was mainly because we had to re-educate you about eczema and about the new treatment that you were going to do. So I had told you it was being caused by candida. What did I tell you the treatment was going to be after, to get rid of the candida out of your body?
Well, you told me I had to eat all these foods.
Mm-hmm.
You gave me a list of foods that I can eat, a list of foods that I cannot eat,
Mm-hmm.
and then you told me you give me some supplements,
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
probiotic and some digestive medicine and some other medicine or natural things that I cannot pronounce. But and you said that and I remember asking you, can I just take these pills and don't do the diet?
Yeah.
Because I wanted, because I'm
need to change your diet.
easy way, right? Because
Yeah.
when you look at the food, you go, oh, you cannot eat all this food, right?
Yeah.
So I go, how about just take the pills?
Yeah.
Double up on the pills
Yeah.
and don't. And I remember you taking all the pills and said, if you're not going to do the diet, then you're wasting your time and
You're wasting your money.
yeah, and you took the pills away. You said, you might as well just not take the pills.
Yeah.
And you're not,
You're not going to get well.
yeah, that's when I got said, this lousy doctor. No, because you get angry, right? Because
Yeah,
you
yeah.
go,
Because he's not letting me do what I want to do.
because that's the better. Well, I felt was
It was easier.
more doable.
Yeah, but easier doesn't necessarily mean the best way. And basically, let's talk about the diet that I asked you to go on, right? So basically, Milton is saying that the diet I asked him to go on was basically he had to eliminate all simple carbohydrates. So simple carbohydrates are all the best tasting foods that we eat, right? So that's like cookies, cakes, pies, pastries, chocolate, ice cream, candies, but also white rice and potatoes of all kinds, as well as fruit, dried fruit, juice, soda, and alcohol. Alcohol was easy for you to give up?
No, not bad.
It wasn't bad. Oh, okay.
I mean, I'm not an alcoholic.
But you used to drink though, right? Well,
yeah.
You drink now too, but at that time you drank, right?
Yeah.
Yeah, okay. White rice. And then we also had to avoid other things too, like noodles, pasta, bread, crackers. Those are all simple carbohydrates. And then other foods like corn, soy, tomatoes, eggplant, bell peppers, pork, peanuts, pistachios, macadamias, cashews, walnuts, because they're the most common food allergens in America. And food allergens can also cause problems with the skin or eczema. So you had to change your diet radically, and that's what you wanted to avoid, because that would have been hard to do.
Yeah, that was the hardest part.
Yeah. And the supplements that we gave Milton was basically digestive enzymes to help Milton make sure that he can digest the foods that he's eating now, his new diet. We're going to need to strengthen his digestive tract, because basically, if Milton does have a candida infection, the candida first will be taking residence and infecting the digestive tract, meaning the stomach and the small intestines. And then we gave Milton some antifungals to help Milton get well as fast as possible. And then we gave Milton probiotics, because as we kill the candida or the fungus, we have to replace them with the good bacteria. So according to medicine, because a lot of people are probably wondering, why didn't the medical doctors just give Milton antifungals, or why didn't I recommend Milton take antifungal medication? According to the textbook of medicine and other medical books, there's really no good treatment for candida or fungus, because the medicines have to be so strong to kill the candida or the fungus that they'll actually kill the person's body before they kill the fungus. So it's almost like, if you can imagine, at home you use Tilex to get rid of the mold. If you drank the Tilex, do you think that the fungus would die before you would? No. So that's why, according to medicine, there's really no good options to treat fungal infections, and that's why we have to starve them by not feeding the fungus the sugars that they like, that they need to grow. All right, Milton. So we're going to have to take a break because we have this segment on the show that we have. It's called "What's Wrong with My Food," and this comes to me from Anna. So she asks, "This is my breakfast every day. I cannot live without my chocolate milk and my donut. I think this is the best breakfast in town. Tell me what's wrong with my food that she eats." So on this picture, she sent in chocolate milk, a jelly-filled donut, and a banana. So at the end of the program, we're going to go ahead and talk about her diet and what's wrong with it and what's good with it, as well as give her ideas to what she can do to better her diet. Milton, what do you think of Anna's diet?
Oh, look good, eh?
Looks delicious.
No, well, the banana is good.
Yeah.
The chocolate milk, maybe if it was, well, for me now, I drink almond milk.
All right.
And the donut, I would have eat malasadas. Nah,
True
no.
local boy.
Yeah. No, well, not every day,
Yeah.
but I would eat a malasada.
Yeah. Okay, so we'll get back to that in a few minutes, but let's get back to Milton and his eczema. So Milton, the eczema covered most of your body except your face at this time. It was pretty bad. You were miserable at night because you would get up several times a night, take cold showers, rub ice on your body. You went to see 5 medical doctors and 2 dermatologists among them, and they said they couldn't do anything for you. They offered you medications like prednisone that can damage your liver, and you chose not to. And then a nurse referred you to me because of the success that I had with her previous patient. And I know who that patient is, and maybe one day we can get her back in. But she was really that bad. So the diet was really hard, but tell us, what happened to the eczema after you started the treatment with me?
Well, what I can remember was that first week, I could, like about 2 or 3 days, I could see things started disappearing already.
The eczema started
Yeah,
to...
like your body, you know. And the other thing I noticed was I had the chills one night.
Yeah.
And I thought I was getting the flu or something.
Yeah.
And I started getting angry with you that night, because I was thinking what was happening, right?
Yeah.
So
yeah.
I got the chills, went under the blanket. So next morning, I didn't go work. I thought, I was sick.
Yeah.
But then I wasn't sick. And then I called you up as soon as you got to your office. But anyway, I remember calling you and I said, I got the chills. And you told me that all the candida is dying so much in like millions, and that your body going into like shock, like or something. So I had to believe you, right?
Yeah. Who else you can believe now?
Yeah, because now I put myself into all this commitment, right?
Yeah.
With the food and the I still was kind of doubting it, but I knew that, especially with the chills.
Yeah. When the chills came on, you really were...
Yeah, like I was getting a little bit angry, like because I felt sick, right?
Yeah.
But only lasted one night.
Yeah. And what Milton was saying is that the fungus is dying off because they're starving. We gave you some antifungals, but also your immune system is trying to kick in now, and that's producing the chills. So typically when somebody has fever and chills, when they have a flu, let's say, the reason why is the immune system is trying to fight this virus. So that's why it's trying to mount a defense, and it produces the fever, right? So you go from chills to fever, and the fever is actually very good for the body. In medicine today, we understand that fevers are a good thing because that's part of the immune system response. So your immune system was trying to kick in. Tell us what happened with the eczema, you know, after the first, let's say, a couple of months.
Oh, it was obvious by 2 weeks already. You know, I knew if I continued, because the thing was, the itch was going. I mean, was visual, right?
Mhm.
You can the thing disappearing
Yeah, before
really
your eyes.
really fast.
Mm.
So,
And that never happened to you before with the
oh
other
yeah,
medications.
yeah. So I knew already.
Yeah.
I think more your body know
Yeah.
rather
I think
than
so.
yeah, and then you can be a believer, you know.
Yeah, yeah. And I guess you were mad too, angry at me in a sense because uh, you had told me on another radio show that we did together that, and I don't know if you remember it, because you know it was a long time ago now. We did the radio show probably in 2003, soon after your eczema cleared out.
Mm.
But on that visit, that first visit you came in,
Yeah.
you asked, "Oh, I'm gonna change my diet real radically. Should I take vitamins?"
Yeah, yeah.
And
Becau-
then explain that.
Yeah, so when I asked, oh, I thought I had to up my vitamins
Right.
because I eating
Totally different than you
yeah
did before.
practically nothing, right? So I thought, oh, I gotta, because you don't want to get sick, right? You wanna, so I asked you, oh, I should take more vitamins, you know, and you said, oh no, you're not going to get sick, and I thought, gee, this is an arrogant guy, you know, because no other doctor ever told me you're not going to get sick, and you know, I thought, you know, I didn't, you know, that's
Yeah,
really
you didn't understand at that time.
Yeah.
You thought you would because you thought your diet was actually
Was
gonna
not
make
good
you-
enough.
Was going to be weak. Gonna make
Yeah,
you weak.
because if you saw what I couldn't eat, it's like,
Yeah.
and remember I lost a lot of weight too,
Yeah,
right?
yeah. We'll talk about that in a few minutes, though. But yeah, Milton, because he couldn't eat his regular diet that he was eating before, so Milton was going to be eating more vegetables, as well as fish and beans and whole grains, those kinds of foods. So, but Milton wouldn't be able to eat all the other things that he ate before, like let's say fruits, right? But you could eat one papaya a day on the diet, but no other fruits at
Half a
all.
papaya.
Okay, and Milton couldn't eat beef, or he had to eat a special kind of beef, would be free range as opposed to commercially raised, and no pork. So Milton thought that his body was going to get weaker. But did you get any colds that first year after we started the treatment?
No,
Was that unusual for you?
well, I don't know, so much unusual. Yeah, I guess, but you know how, like I say, your body, you feel strong, you know,
Yeah.
and I felt a lot of energy
Yeah, yeah,
and more mental clarity.
yeah. So you could feel all those things.
Yeah, yeah. I was a believer.
At that
You know,
point.
yeah, I was
And
at a,
that was 2 weeks after.
yeah. After about I knew already this thing is working. You know.
Were you surprised that it was working?
Oh yeah, kind of.
Yeah. Because I
Yeah.
guess initially you thought
Yeah.
it was so bizarre, this treatment, that it would
Yeah.
never work.
It takes a while to set in your mind that this is real. You know that.
That it is really working.
Yeah.
Yeah. How long did it take for the eczema to go away? Completely.
I forget,
You
but
forget.
I think was about within 3 months, or was
Yeah.
fast.
It was pretty fast. It was within 4 months.
So remember, you would want to start eating meat and start eating anything already, right? Because everything's gone, right?
Right, right.
But
Yeah.
you told me you still gotta stay on the diet.
Yeah. To make sure that we got rid of all the fungus.
Yeah.
And also we would test for food allergies by adding the foods like corn and sorry, I missed dairy products and soy and tomatoes. We're going to add all those foods back in your diet one at a time to see if you are actually allergic to any of those foods.
Mm-hmm.
And I don't remember offhand, I didn't really look at your case for this TV show, but I don't think you were allergic to any foods, right?
No,
that we
but
found out.
we tested one food at a
At
time,
a time, yeah.
and came out where I wasn't allergic to anything.
Yeah.
I mean, so I started eating macadamia nuts and peanuts.
Yeah.
I became a normal guy.
Yeah. So, Milton, you had mentioned too, right, that we changed your diet dramatically. In 2 weeks, you already knew that the treatment was working because you saw the eczema clearing up pretty fast. But it took a little over 3 months for the eczema to go away. For a lot of people, they might think, oh, that's a long time. Was that a long time for you, suffering from eczema off and on for many years, that the eczema cleared up in a matter of a little over 3 months?
I think maybe the longest or the hardest part was just about the first month and a half. Yeah, maybe.
Was
Well,
hard for you?
once I got used to with the diet,
Mm.
then you start craving that same food, huh?
The healthy foods.
Yeah.
Yeah. Vegetables, beans, whole grains.
Yeah,
fish.
the Cornish hen,
Yeah,
the
yeah.
salmon.
Yeah.
So you create a new. So I guess your mind, and that's all you can eat anyway. So you start craving for those
Yeah.
things.
You might as well like it, right? Because that's all you can eat for now.
You're hungry, right? Oh, I used to eat poi.
Yeah, you could eat pork.
Remember, I used to eat a lot of poi,
Yeah.
fish and poi.
Yeah. So there's a lot that you can eat actually, but for the majority of most people, they eat a typical American type of diet, which is probably about 80% not allowed on the diet to get rid of candida and to help you with your eczema. So what did you think about the speed of your recovery? Because it took you 3.5 months. I know you said the first month and a half was tough, but after that went by quickly then. So you didn't think it took too long for you to get well?
Like Friday after work, you feel like go eat Chinese food or something, right?
Yeah.
I remember we went to a Chinese restaurant and asked the guy or chef
Mm-hmm.
if they could make a duck without, MSG, without any sugar,
Mm-hmm.
and then the guy did,
Oh, really?
and tasted terrible because
Yeah.
no more the sauce and all that, yeah.
Right. Just dried duck.
But so
But you did it. Are you happy that you went through that process to get rid of the eczema?
well, yeah. I mean, you forget about your pain, yeah, after a while, but
Mhm.
you develop a new lifestyle,
Right.
and not 100%.
Mm.
I told you, right?
Yeah. You mean your lifestyle now?
Yeah, I mean,
Yeah. So you learned about what healthy eating is and how to keep your body healthy.
well, you know what you remember. I remember when I came to you and you told me that what doctor means in Latin, it means teacher, and so I figured, well, you was teaching me to, and you told me you're gonna teach me to take care of myself.
Mm.
That kind of made a lot of sense, right?
Mhm.
So then I don't have to see you again.
That's right. Milton hasn't been, so but yeah, that's true because it's better to teach somebody how to fish, right, than to give them the fish because then they can take care of themselves.
Well, then I kind of realized, you were sincere.
Mm.
When you're telling me you're gonna give me information, so that I don't have to come. I thought, yeah, that's a lot of things like that. I thought this guy, he's really gonna. He means well, thinking for my benefit.
For your
yeah.
well-being and
Yeah.
benefit.
Long term.
Yeah. You also mentioned, you also felt already in the first 2 weeks or so that your mind was mentally clear, you had more energy, maybe even more motivation, those kinds of things. Where did you think that was coming from?
Well, I don't know, how, I guess when you clean up your body,
Yeah.
you don't, and remember losing a lot of weight and, things happening so fast, right? The candida probably all died or,
Right. Right.
and you're feeling better, right?
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
And now you can wear a tank top,
Yeah. Yeah.
you can look normal.
Yeah.
So, I don't know, maybe it affects your mind too, right? As far internally, see, I don't know, I'm not a doctor, but
Yeah.
I think it affects you spiritually, I think, because I was getting more creative
Oh yeah.
and,
Yeah.
you know,
Yeah, you told me you decided to, for a long time, your house had this beautiful lawn.
yeah,
It's almost like a golf course green, right?
yeah.
But
Well, not that great, but
Yeah.
was pretty good,
But then all of a sudden you decided to tear it all out, right?
Yeah,
And that's the creativity and that energy that
Yeah.
you were feeling
yeah.
from the treatment.
And I remember one of the neighbors came by and said, "What are you doing?"
Yeah.
I guess he admired my
Your
lawn.
Yeah.
So when he saw me tearing up the lawn, he looked at, he said, "What are you doing?" And the guy never talked to me.
Oh, really?
Yeah, I mean, he wasn't one that
Yeah.
was
Yeah.
close.
Yeah.
But I guess it bothered him.
Yeah. Because it was used to your
Seeing
lawn
the-
being the
yeah.
same all the time, perfect, immaculate,
Yeah,
and you're ruining a good thing.
yeah.
What happened? What did you do with your yard after that?
I made a Japanese garden. Yeah, and then when I started tearing it up and had so much work, I actually thought, yeah, what am I doing?
Yeah.
I didn't know where it was coming from.
Yeah, yeah.
Kind of was like,
Did you know where you were going with it? Did you know you wanted to put in a Japanese garden?
well, I look at pictures, yeah,
Yeah, yeah, yeah.
but I had a lot of energy,
Yeah.
and I was just like, you made me crazy, yeah.
But how did your Japanese garden turn out, though? Did it come out beautiful or did it come out a wreck?
Well, it came out nice.
Yeah, yeah. Are you proud of the garden?
Yeah.
Yeah. You
Why-
can say it on TV.
why-
You're proud.
You want to go there now?
Yeah, we can show it on the Island Wellness. Milton, you had mentioned you lost a lot of weight. You remember how much you weighed the first day you came in to see me?
I think I was about 189 pounds.
Yeah, exactly. And how much did you lose during the process of the treatment?
About 40 pounds, I think.
40 pounds. So that's a lot of weight for you to lose.
Yeah,
So
for-
obviously you look pretty before, when you were 189 pounds, you were pretty thick. You had mentioned you looked like a high school football linebacker.
Well, I never was that heavy in my life.
189.
Never. That was the heaviest.
So you had gradually got to that weight.
I guess so, with all that food.
The foods
Whatever.
that you're eating.
Yeah.
Sort of like the ones that Anna is
Yeah.
eating. So was the treatment hard for you to finish? The diet change.
Well, I guess, yeah.
It was.
Yeah, I think it was because already, when you was giving me back the foods,
Mm-hmm.
I mean, in your mind, is like now you like go restaurants and,
Yeah.
yeah, so you like go back to your old life.
Oh, yeah. That's
Yeah,
understandable.
I think that's what it is.
Yeah. You're already tasting it coming back, so
Like-
you want to run before you even learn how to walk, basically, right?
Yeah.
So, okay, that's fair, right? That's a fair assessment because obviously, everybody lives in this world and we want to kind of live in this world.
Yeah.
But the goal was to get rid of the candida with the diet change as well as taking those supplements to get rid of the candida or the fungus. Milton, I last saw you for the eczema back in the middle of 2002. Now it's 2008. Do you have your eczema?
No.
No. You lost 40 pounds. How much weight did you gain back from during that time, from 2002 to now about? Because you still look pretty thin.
Yeah, I think I gained maybe 5.
5 pounds back.
Five,
So
or between 5 to 10 pounds.
all right, so you've kept most of that weight off, so obviously you still are eating very healthy. You're following more the diet I put you on than the diet you ate before.
I try to believe that it's 80-20,
Okay,
but
okay.
but maybe not. You
You
know,
mean might be a little bit better than that?
no,
80 good, 20% bad? You think it's 90% good?
No.
You think it's 70% good and 30% bad? Maybe even worse.
Yeah, who knows?
Okay.
But I'm conscious.
Yeah.
You know, just
You're aware.
yeah,
Yeah, of what is good for you, what is not.
yeah.
But that's good for the listening audience to know, because you haven't been following a diet really well, but yet the eczema hasn't come back, right? Because the goal was to get rid of the candida that I told you was causing the eczema, and it hasn't come back. So can you tell us what you think about or what you want to tell people who have eczema and they're going to see dermatologists or internists and they're taking corticosteroids and they're being told that these medications aren't going to cure you, but this is what we use to manage your condition?
Well, all I can say is, I know, I'm a believer, yeah, because it happened to me. Now, I stumbled, I had a problem, and all I can say is, if you invest in at least 7 to 9 months and learn something new like this, you're not going to regret it. And I remember also after I was good, right? Because you kind of cocky, right, already, right? Like, hey, high five, right? Because we actually won, right?
That's right. We did win.
So, you're the coach, I'm the player, right? Like, we did it, right?
That's right.
We beat. But, okay, so we're acting like that. And I remember you saying, now I guess got to maintain, yeah? So, all I can tell people is, you gotta try, especially if you're suffering, right? Because I would have never, if I wasn't suffering, I would have never met you.
Yeah.
I would have.
But that's true. I mean, you have to be suffering enough to make that significant diet change, because that's a big change, no doubt. So if you have just a little spot of eczema, you probably are not going to want to change your diet.
No.
You have to have it pretty much over a big area of your body, and that's unfortunately most of my patients who have eczema. They come in to see me, it's covering at least half or even all of their body. So that's not uncommon for me to see. And they get well, like that patient that nurse was telling you about, as well as many others that keep coming in because of successes like Milton, and you share your story with other people. And that's, I think, the other part too, right? You've learned from me, and I told you that we would teach you how to keep yourself well, but you've gone beyond that, Milton, right? You share your experience with many people.
Well, I'm here. I should be golfing right now, but the reason.
Thank you for coming in.
But the reason why I'm here is because I was suffering. So, if I can help one person, and plus I feel, a connection to you, because you really, because I never believe you, and you helped me through this, one of the hardest time, as far as physically, right, in my life. But I remember also, I asked you, I get good questions, yeah?
You do.
But I remember asking you, what if I didn't meet you? And what if I didn't go through this, food thing, and all that? And you told me, no, possibly I would have gotten maybe, because it's going to get worse, right? And you told me, well, possibly I might get lupus or some
Another
other
autoimmune disease.
Yeah. When you really think about that, And other people that are going through something like this, they're dying.
Yeah. Slowly.
Yeah, slow death,
Mm-hmm.
but it accelerates.
Mm-hmm.
So with that, I think this was priceless.
Yeah.
You
Thank
know.
you for sharing that. What Milton means also is because the typical treatment for eczema as it's getting worse is they're going to escalate the type of autoimmune or immunosuppressive medications they give, and even they're going to start to use even more powerful immunosuppressive drugs. So they start with prednisone. And prednisone, according to the medical books and pharmacology books, over time can kill you. And then they also start adding methotrexate. Methotrexate is a chemotherapy drug that also over time will kill you. So, and that both are meant to just really knock out your immune system. So your immune system isn't taking anything out of your skin anymore. But in the long term, by knocking out your immune system that long, it actually does increase your risk for developing other autoimmune diseases to even cancers. So, and Milton, thank you for sharing that story. Also, though, what do you think about naturopathic medicine now? Because when you first came in to see me on that first visit, you thought I was a quack, right? Like
Yeah,
probably
yeah.
everybody else
Yeah.
thinks right now.
Yeah.
And majority of the listening audience probably thinks that,
Yeah.
you know, naturopathic physicians are quacks. What do you think about naturopathic medicine now?
Well, you know, we're so conditioned. Yeah. You figure I was going to, from the time I can remember, you're going to a regular medical doctor, and you believe in the system.
Mm-hmm.
You got it, because that's what your parents took you to, right?
Right, right.
So meeting somebody like you and going through this was hard.
Mm.
But listening to your talk show, seeing what happened to me, seeing seeing other people younger than me not doing that well,
Mm.
you know, quality of life.
Yeah.
My quality of life changed. You know, so it's priceless, huh?
Yeah, I believe so, and thank you for sharing that. That's well said. Milton, I want to thank you for joining us on Island Wellness and sharing your story with us today. It's a very inspirational story, I'm sure, for a lot of people who do suffer from eczema. And I'm glad you're doing very well, and continued success to you.
Oh, yeah, thank you for having me.
You're welcome. All right. Now, what's wrong with Anna's food? So Anna was kind enough to mail in her or email me her I would think average typical breakfast. So she asked, "This is my breakfast every day. I cannot live without my chocolate milk and my donut. I think this is the best breakfast in town. Tell me what's wrong with my food." So Anna, I mean, it's a delicious tasting breakfast, no doubt, but unfortunately, the chocolate milk, even though it's non-fat or skim, has a lot of sugar in it, as well as the jelly donut. So the jelly donut and the chocolate milk has a lot of simple carbohydrates, a lot of calories. So that's going to increase your risk of developing diabetes as well as increasing weight. So with the calorie load that's in this breakfast, you probably can count on gaining a lot of weight and maybe look forward to some obesity maybe in the future. So we'd want to move away from those foods. The banana is very good. I really like that. The fruits have a lot of vitamins and minerals in it. So what we can do to help you improve your nutrition in your diet would be to, I know you love your chocolate milk, non-fat chocolate milk. Maybe, you know, if you keep that in because you like the taste of that, at least we need to add a little bit more fruit to your breakfast, and maybe you can eat something like a whole old-fashioned oatmeal to add more fiber and some more minerals into your diet. If you add more fruit into your diet, then you can get more vitamins from the fruit, and that's going to give you a pretty good start to your breakfast. So that's what I can offer you with a change in your diet. Hopefully you don't mind, eating the oatmeal and more fruits, and maybe we can keep your chocolate milk in there. But if you really are concerned about diabetes, you can replace the chocolate milk with maybe green tea to start the morning. So green tea has a little caffeine. If you don't want the caffeine in there, you can switch to a decaffeinated green tea drink. Get your start to the day in a warm way. And I want to thank you for sending in your email. If you have any questions about your diet, please send me an email to me at islandwellnesstv@hawaii.rr.com. And if you have any questions about naturopathic medicine, don't hesitate to email me also. I look forward to being with you here again next week on Island Wellness.